You just spent 3 hours researching your competitors, reading through forums, clicking into blog posts, cross-referencing pricing pages, and you still don't fully trust what you found. What if that entire process took 11 minutes and cost you less than a cup of coffee? That's not a fantasy. That's what deep research tools are doing for solo founders right now, and Maltz and the two biggest players are about to go head to head. Welcome back to Venture Void, the channel where we cut through the noise and hand you the systems, tools, and strategies that actually move the needle for solo founders and small business owners running lean. If you're new here, hit subscribe because we don't do surface level content. Every video is built to save you time or make you money. Today we're doing both. Here's the problem. You are a one-person operation or close to it. You're building, selling, and marketing simultaneously. Research is essential. Market research, competitor analysis, content research, customer psychology, pricing strategy. But research is also a black hole. It devours hours you don't have. Hiring a freelance research analyst on Upwork runs you anywhere from $25 to $75 per hour for someone decent. A market research report from a firm? You're looking at $2,000 to $10,000 minimum for anything industry specific. So most solo founders do it themselves, which means late nights, browser tabs stacking up, and conclusions that are a week old by the time you act on them. That's the world we were operating in before deep research AI became accessible. That world is over. Now let's talk about the solution, and let's be specific about what each tool actually does. ChatGPT Deep Research is OpenAI's answer to the research bottleneck. It's available on the $20 per month plus plan and included in the $200 per month pro plan with higher usage limits. When you trigger a deep research query, ChatGPT doesn't just pull from its training data. It actively browses the web in real time, visits multiple sources, reads through them, synthesizes the information, and produces a structured report. The whole process typically takes between 2 and 30 minutes depending on complexity. What comes out the other side is a formatted, cited document that reads like something a junior analyst spent a day writing. A solo founder selling B2B SaaS tools could ask ChatGPT Deep Research to map out 5 direct competitors, their pricing tiers, their positioning language, their top reviewed features on G2, and their identified weaknesses in customer reviews, and get a document back that's actually usable for strategic planning. I've seen output that runs when in 500 to 3,000 words with citations, comparison tables, and pattern identification. That's real leverage. Perplexity, on the other hand, has been playing this game longer in some ways. Perplexity Pro runs $20 per month and includes a feature called Deep Research that operates differently from ChatGPT's version in one very important way: speed and source transparency. Perplexity is citation first by design. Every single claim links directly to a source inline, so you're not hunting for references at the bottom of a document. You're reading a claim and instantly seeing where it came from. For a solo founder who needs to trust their data before acting on it, that inline citation model is genuinely valuable. Perplexity Deep Research tends to complete queries faster, often in the 2 to 5 minute range, and it's optimized for factual, current, real-world information. Ask it to pull together the average customer acquisition cost across 3 industries, reference recent posts from Reddit communities and industry blogs, and summarize the consensus. It handles that remarkably well. Here's how to think about the difference in practical terms. Imagine you're a consultant launching a new service package for e-commerce brands. You need to understand what your competitors are charging, how they're framing their offers, and what clients are complaining about in public forums. You run that query in ChatGPT Deep Research. 20 minutes later, you have a structured report with a competitive landscape section, a pricing analysis, a section on common client objections pulled from Reddit and Trustpilot, and a suggested positioning angle. It's dense, it's synthesized, and it reads like a strategic brief. Now run a similar query in Perplexity. You get results faster. The sourcing is more granular. You can actually click through each reference mid-read, but the synthesis is thinner. Perplexity is exceptional at fact gathering and source linking. ChatGPT Deep Research is stronger at connecting dots and producing a narrative you can hand to a client or build a strategy around. For content research specifically, Perplexity wins on efficiency. If you're producing 6 pieces of content per month and you need research for each one, Perplexity gets you briefed in 5 minutes. A food and beverage brand founder writing an article about the rise of functional beverages can have source statistics, trend data, brand examples, and market sizing numbers in their hands within 4 minutes. That replaces the $35 per article you'd pay a research assistant on Fiverr, multiplied across 12 months. You're saving over $2,500 annually on content research alone at the low end. For strategic decisions, pricing, pivots, market entry, partnership evaluation, competitive positioning, ChatGPT Deep Research earns its place. The synthesis is deeper, the reasoning is more structured, and the output resembles strategic consulting deliverables rather than a research summary. A founder considering whether to expand into the UK market could run a deep research query asking for regulatory considerations, competitor presence, typical customer acquisition costs, cultural nuance in marketing language, and relevant case studies of US brands that made that move. The output you get back would cost you $500 to $2,000 to get from a freelance business analyst. You're getting it for the cost of your monthly subscription. Now let's talk about what these tools actually replace, because understanding that is how you justify the cost. Both tools at $20 per month combined gives you $480 per year in tool spend. That's replacing research assistant hours at $25 to $40 per hour, freelance content research at $25 to $50 per piece, market analysis reports starting at $2,000, and the cognitive overhead of doing it yourself at 3 to 5 hours per research task. If you're making 2 major research-backed decisions per month and producing 4 pieces of content that require sourcing, you're conservatively replacing $800 to $1,200 worth of research labor monthly. Against a $40 per month combined tool cost, the ROI is not even a debate. Here's the catch, and I'll be direct with you because this channel doesn't sell you illusions. Both tools hallucinate. ChatGPT Deep Research, despite browsing live sources, can still misattribute quotes, pull outdated information from cached pages, or draw conclusions that aren't fully supported by the sources it cites. Perplexity is more accurate on factual retrieval, but can still surface sources that are themselves unreliable. A blog post presenting opinion as data, an article with commercial bias. The rule is non-negotiable. Verify before you act on anything financially significant. Spot check 3 to 5 sources from any research output before you use the numbers in a pitch deck, a pricing decision, or a published piece. This is not a deal breaker. It's a quality control step that takes 10 minutes and still leaves you miles ahead of 3 hours of manual research. Also, ChatGPT Deep Research has usage limits on the Plus plan. You're not running unlimited queries at $20 per month. Heavy users will bump into those limits and may need the Pro tier at $200 per month, which changes the math if you're not deploying it strategically. So which one saves solo founders more time and money? The honest answer is both. Used together, Perplexity is your daily driver for quick fact gathering, content research, and source-verified information retrieval. ChatGPT Deep Research is your strategic tool for complex analysis, competitive intelligence, and decision support documents. If you can only afford one, start with Perplexity Pro because the speed-to-value ratio is higher for daily use, and the citation model protects you from acting on bad information. Upgrade to ChatGPT Pro or Plus when you're making bigger strategic moves that require synthesized reasoning, not just data retrieval. The founders who are pulling ahead right now aren't the ones with the biggest teams. They're the ones who've built research workflows that take minutes instead of days, and cost dollars instead of thousands. This is one of those workflows. If this gave you something real, subscribe to Venture Void. We publish weekly on AI tools, business automation, and passive income systems built for the solo founder who refuses to stay small. Hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next, because the next one is going to change how you think about pricing strategy entirely.